granting following the events of EA-Gate. EA-Gate was the Twitter name given to the allegations that someone involved with EA was selling rare FIFA Ultimate Team cards through black market channels. In a statement released, EA said the alleged behavior is unacceptable and in no way do we condone granting or purchasing player items in exchange for money. This practice runs counter to the game's competitive integrity, is a violation of EA's user agreement, and is not something we tolerate. All accounts involved have been banned and EA is currently investigating the individuals involved. If you are looking to improve your FIFA Ultimate Team by buying some packs or checking out the auction market, I'd hold off until all this gets sorted out.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The Onside Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The Onside Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The Onside Zone with a big O.
All right.
I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home.
Out in front. Ramaco covering the front of the net, it deflected back. Here's Keith firing. Loose in front, and they score. Jammed in by Hagel, and Chicago's got a 3-1 lead. He's got it again. Up high, Yandel. Oh, nicely held that puck in. Ekblad shoots, he scores! Aaron Ekblad, his 10th of the season. The Cats are only down by one now. Stick handling, stopping, waiting. Feeds up high, the Forsling wrister, he scores! It got through, and we're tied at 3. The comeback Cats at it again tonight. Up by Barkov, he breaks out. Achari trying to beat the Blackhawks to get to the net. It's a 2-on-1. Barkov moves in. He's got a trailer. Uyghur is all alone. Saved by Lankinen. Rebound will score! Barkov got it! A short-handed goal. And the Panthers have their first lead with 6:34 left.
Achari.
Janmark turned it over. Barkov on the move. The net is empty. He misses wide. But for Hagee, tracks it down. Bingo! Carter for Hagee into the empty net, and the Panthers have a 5-3 lead now.
4 for 4.
They will jump into first place in the division, and they are tied for first place overall in the NHL with 5 straight goals. They take down Chicago 6-3.
You know, Dale Talon's got to feel like a freaking moron right now, right? I mean, think about it. Listen to all those highlights. Listen to Goldie going crazy. The Panthers are kicking ass. They're in first place in the division, first place in the NHL. They're a ripping ass, dude. They're tough. They're tough-minded. They're resilient. They can score. Bob is starting to play real hockey now. I mean, listen, even yesterday, you think about it, you take a lead, and Bob only has 26 saves. Normally in a game like that, the opposing team is peppering the goaltender, and yet the defense did not allow Bob to get peppered yesterday, which again, I mean, you start looking at everything, and that's the one thing that stands out to me more than anything else. Dale Talon is a freaking moron. I mean, that's what I was sitting there last night. I'm watching this and I'm going, you know, Dale just, he picked a couple good players. Yeah, they got some young guys, that they were able to develop, and they're part of the core of this team. I get that. And, okay, so he did some good things, but the guy really could never put an entire team together. And here comes Zito, and in one off season, he makes all kinds of changes. My favorite was the toughness that he brought to the table, because obviously the Panthers were complete pussies the last couple of years. All they did was ever get pushed around and beat down, and just, it's pathetic. It's embarrassing the way the Panthers were the last couple of years, the way they would fold like a cheap tent. And now it's a different team, dude. It's mentally, physically, it's just different. And I would imagine that Viola and Sifu are sitting there going, damn, we changed one guy, and one guy has the vision to actually put this team together. And listen, it's time South Florida wakes up. It's time that South Florida gets behind the Panthers. It's time that the craziness for the Panthers starts, because I got to tell you, the better team right now is the Panthers over the Heat. The team that's got a better shot at making a deeper run into the playoffs is the Panthers, not the Heat. Both are going to go to the playoffs. Both are going to have phenomenal years. I think the Panthers might be the one that might be a little closer to the cup than the Heat is to the O'Brien Trophy. So, and listen, we're going to have a fun winter here. Well, winter's done here pretty much. But we're going to have a fun finish of the winter teams here down the stretch, because both are going to go to the playoffs. The Heat is setting themselves up to have a really high seed now. The team that we saw a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, that's a different team. And now they've got a much easier schedule, and they're focused, and they're taking advantage of that easy schedule, like tonight the Cavs, and they're putting away these sorry teams. And now they're they're piling on the wins and going way over 500 now, and they're going to really position themselves. But the Panthers deserve your attention. The Panthers deserve your support. The Panthers deserve your craziness. And, we've been waiting since the 90s for something like this. I just wish we could pack the arena now. I really wish we could pack the arena, because that's what they also deserve. I know when the Heat finally gets to open their doors to a complete arena, it's going to be practically full, because the Heat get great support, because it's well-deserved, because they're the best franchise in town by miles and miles and miles and miles. Okay? It's not even close. They're so far ahead of everybody, and they've earned everybody's trust, that you're going to stick with them through thick and thin, because you're going to always believe that they're going to find a way to try to get back on top again. That's the kind of confidence that we have in the Heat that we don't have in any other franchise in town yet. No other franchise has that. But I look at, obviously, the landscape of the NBA, and it's going to be really tough for the Heat to win a title this year. But it is going to be another really good year. They're going to have a really good run. But the team that rarely has good runs, the team that has nobody's attention in town, the team that really doesn't get the support is the Panthers. Now, in years past, they don't deserve your support. I get it. Unless you're a hardcore hockey fan, you're not going to support the Panthers, because they haven't proven to you, the players, that they could get over the hump. The owners have proven it already. Viola and Sifu they overspend. So they've done everything they possibly could do as owners. What their job as owners was to find the right combo of people to run their organization. And that's where they would struggle. Their commitment is unquestioned. And it's awesome for us as fans. It's like Stephen Ross. His commitment is unquestioned. I love him as an owner. All I needed him is to figure out, get the right damn people to run your team, and then you're all right. And finally, it looks like he got the right people, just like Viola and Sifu. Looks like Zito is the guy. But I sat there last night, and I kept thinking, wow, this Dale Talon was setting this team back. As much as he helped them get Huberdeau and Barkov and Ekblad as core players, he killed Barkov, Huberdeau, and Ekblad with all the people around him. He did not get the right team, did not provide the right toughness. You know what I mean? So that to me is what stood out when I'm watching that game. As they're coming back from their deficit and then they're piling on the lead, I'm looking at them going, man, this is a completely different team. They can beat the good teams. They can beat the mediocre teams. They can beat the average teams. They don't fold when they fall behind. And, I mean, think about this. You know they're number one, but they're just the record. They're 19-5-4. That's the other thing that I love about this team. This isn't the usual Panthers team that struggles in the first half, puts themselves in a hole, and then they've got to find a way to dig themselves out of that stinking hole. And usually they expend so much energy getting out of that hole that by the time they're right knocking on a playoff spot, we're talking about the A seed now. We're not talking about having one of the top seeds now, which is what the Panthers are working on. They barely ever get the A seed. In fact, they rarely ever get it. And we're talking about the pathetic 8th seed. Because that was a point where we get to that you're just happy to be there. And you got to get past that happy to be there shit. And that's what Quinn-Bill's not happy to be there, dude. That guy's got rings. Okay? Zito can't take over the job to be happy to be in the playoffs. And Viola and Sifu, those dudes don't want to just make the playoffs and sneak in and grab the A seed and maybe possibly, move on to the second round and get eliminated and sit there going, wow, we had a great. Those two dudes want to win a Stanley Cup. That's why they're paying Bobrovsky $4 billion to be between the pipes. So it's time. It's time we talk more about the Panthers. It's time we celebrate the Panthers. It's time we support the Panthers. It's time we talk about the Panthers. And, Lord, let's get the vaccine to everybody out there so we can get our lives back and we can pack these arenas, and especially the BB&T Center that needs that kind of atmosphere. Because watching that game last night, the only thing that was missing was our 90s crowd. I know because I'm old, and I covered those teams. I was a beat reporter at that time in the mid-90s for QAM. And I remember 300 people waiting for autographs outside of practice. I remember that you couldn't buy a ticket for the Miami Arena. I remember the rat craze and all of that. And it was awesome. It was a great story. It was a great bunch of guys, too. Super likable, bro. Scrudlin and Mellenby and Beezer and Paul Laws and just all these guys were, and Lindsay, and I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on. Just a great group of men that had a lot of fun, were incredibly aware of what their job was, that it wasn't just to play hockey and try to win, but it was also to be an ambassador to the sport and sell it and reach out to kids and do interviews on TV and radio and newspapers. Sell, sell, sell. And that's a thing that these guys have to pick the baton up from the Mellenbys of the world and figure out how to be a salesman. Part of the reason why baseball is in the shitter is because they actually don't know how to promote their sport. They don't know how to connect with fans. Not on social media, not live, not anywhere. And hockey and baseball have to do better in selling their sports. And I'll tell you that in the mid-90s, those Panthers, those players were exceptional at selling their sport. So was the coach, by the way. Doug McLean in those times was a very charismatic guy, was always willing to talk. And and I know Quinn-Bill's he's one of those guys that, he's a serious man, but I think you can have a little fun with him, especially when you're 19-5-4. I think he can let loose a little bit. Now, I don't expect him to be Doug McClain, but I do expect him to do his part too. So it's up to us as fans. We got to pick it up on social media. We got to pick it up as the bars hopefully, get to open more and we all get vaccinated and, we can get our lives back a little bit. Still try to maintain your distance. Still try to wear a mask because, unfortunately, not everybody's vaccinated. So even when you do get vaccinated, don't feel you're Superman or Superwoman, okay? All right? Still be smart about it. Because we had also some folks that had the virus, and then they thought they had the antibodies, so they're immune. So now they're trying to walk around and act and everything and do everything without a mask, but they're still putting people at risk because you can get the virus again, and then you can end up spreading it to somebody else that maybe has never had it or hasn't been vaccinated. So let's be smart too, okay? Well, I want packed arenas and I want packed stadiums here at Inter, and I want to go to a concert and all of that, but we got to do it responsibly. Okay, I've worked throughout the entire pandemic. But always responsibly. Okay? Those of you that, I don't know, Tito, did they catch me cleaning my desk and Mike and all that?
Might have a little bit of it.
They might have caught it because every day I will wipe down this desk. I will clean the mic stand. I will zap this mic, okay? And I do that and listen. And I just got vaccinated almost 3 weeks ago, which I'm 5 days away from my second one. And I'm still going to do it until we're through all of this. But on the bright side, man, let's cheer on these Cats, man. Let's get behind these guys. Let's talk more hockey. Let's demand more hockey. Seriously, and let me tell you something. When you got a good hockey team and they're playing well and they're making noise throughout the regular season, and then you go into the Stanley Cup playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoffs in all of pro sports. Seriously. I know some of you aren't into hockey, so there's no way I can convince you of that, and I'm a football guy. But I'll tell you, the Stanley Cup playoffs are awesome. Love watching them, and I watch them every year without the damn Panthers in it. This year, the Cats, thank the Lord that Dale sorry-ass Talon isn't here anymore because they're headed to the playoffs. And if you would have had Dale Talon here, can you imagine? You would have been, under 500 at this point. We would have been frustrated again. But these guys deserve a lot of love, man. So let's make sure you give it to them. Great win yesterday, 6-3. Hubie had 2 assists in the game. Barkov, Verhage, Ekblad, Wenberg, Forsling, Tippett, they all scored. They got Nashville on Thursday, by the way, at 7 o'clock. So hopefully they'll be able to pick up another victory there. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Don't forget, folks, it's Saturday. At 8 a.m., baseball fans can go deep into the count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase. Catch the show that talks Marlins and all the big stories in the major leagues. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., Seamheads now have a new home. Listen to Deep into the Count exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. First responders are people who stand for a greater purpose. They will be there for you when nobody else is, to help you, your family, your community. This is their selfless promise. This is their sworn duty, to protect, to serve, to help. They put themselves in harm's way for us. They come to the rescue at times when we need them most. First responders are making enormous personal sacrifices to keep showing up for us and fighting the good fight. Nearly 70% of all firefighters are volunteers. That means when they get injured or quarantined, they may not have a way to pay their rent or keep their family safe and fed. No matter who you are or where you live, when you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day, and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org and make a difference today.
At Baptist Health, we are ready.
To serve, to treat.
To safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits
with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams.
We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
Take Onside Radio everywhere you go with the MyTuner Radio app. Download the free app and listen to your favorite OnsideRadio.com host. Go to your app store, download MyTuner Radio, and search Onside Radio, South Florida's sports station. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnsideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's moretoadhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Alrighty. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Alan Poupar is going to join us at 12:30. We'll talk all things Dolphins and a little Panthers. We'll get his thoughts on the Panthers also, since he does his share of covering the Panthers too. And hell, he's Canadian. He forgot more about hockey than I'll ever know. Okay? Even if he wasn't Canadian, he still knows a boatload of hockey. In fact, I was just asking you, Tito, have you ever been to Indy for, because we go to the Combine every year, and I always hang out with Alan on several nights during that week, because whenever there's a Panthers game, Alan and I will go to this bar that they'll change. They have 40 TVs. No, I'm sorry. Probably about 140 TVs, and they're big screens all over the place. And it's like an Irish bar. And by the way, they have these stuffed breads with cheese and pepperoni and a little pizza sauce in it, and those things.
Talking about calzone?
Well, I don't know it's not called a calzone. They call it something else, something bread. I don't know what the hell it's called. Maybe Alan can remember the damn name, but we always order it. And they always put the Heat games and the Panther games for us. So we'll be there watching the Heat and Panthers all the time throughout the week. You'll see Tito when you go with us next year to the Combine. But yeah, so we'll have a little fun with Alan when he joins us at 12:30. Now, I saw here on the YouTube chat board, who was it? Let's see, somebody. Oh, there it is. Highly Bread on YouTube. And remember, you can watch the show on YouTube and chat and ask questions and all that good stuff. And usually there's a bigger conversation going on between all the people on the chat board. So Highly Bread says, what up? Oh, Dolphins Twitter is freaking out. And listen, If you're freaking out, it's because I've been trying to tell you this for the last couple of years. You have been poorly trained to be an NFL fan and to be a Miami Dolphins fan. And the problem is, for 20-plus years, you're used to stupid front office that can't draft, can't trade, then has desperately got to overspend in free agency to make up for all their mistakes in the draft. You guys are used to a bad football team year in and year out. You guys are used to a bad coach. You guys are used to a bad general manager. And you guys are used to overspending in free agency. And last year, they had so much money that they had to shore up the defense, and that's exactly what they did. So they did spend money. Now, as I've said before, their contracts that they give out, and I explained it last year when they signed a lot of these guys, and I explained that these contracts were easy to get out of. They're short-term deals more often than not. The Kyle Van Noy one was made for 2 years, not one. It was a 4-year deal, but it had an out after a second. Problem is, they didn't expect the pandemic. They didn't expect all the losses. And they didn't expect the money to dry up as quickly and the cap to shrink. So then they had to change their perspective on Kyle Van Noy and say, no, we're going to be forced to get rid of him because we can get somebody cheaper that can be just as productive or more. That's what they're doing. And I love the fact that they waste no time and they make the changes that they've got to make. You guys are used to bad management. So if they didn't spend, then you must think it's bad management, or, oh my God, the Patriots are getting ahead of us and they're going to beat our team and we're going to be sucking as a Dolphin fan base again. And it's like, please, relax. Relax. And I already see people drinking the Patriot Kool-Aid, and those are the same idiots that got all crazy about the Patriots last year. Oh, they picked up Cam Newton. Oh, they'll bring him back and he'll play well for them and they'll adjust their offense and all that. And in the end, they sucked. And guess what? They're going to suck again. Oh, no, they'll suck again. That's what's going to happen. They'll be a 500 team once again. They don't have a quarterback. I get it. Bill is smart. Getting 2 tight ends for an inaccurate quarterback, that makes a lot of sense. Okay? It does. I will admit. But it's funny how they don't mention that. Didn't they lose their center? Huh? Didn't Tunney sign somewhere else?
He's a guard. He signed with the
guard?
Chiefs for $80 million.
Yeah.
They could potentially lose their center in David Andrews.
Right, Andrews is the other guy.
The Dolphins are actually in conversation with him.
So, if you're going to hurt your offensive line, I don't know how you really get to pass a lot. Okay, so it's a plus-minus type. You don't have a quarterback. Your offensive line's getting weaker. Sure, you added weapons, and I like the weapons they added. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Jonnu Smith fan. I love how that kid has grown and has turned himself into a hell of a player. Okay? I mean, there's no denying it. Hunter, I think Hunter's had his share of injuries, right? If I'm correct, I want to say. I think he's been...
Hunter Henry's had a couple knee injuries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I would say about Hunter Henry, that there's no doubt that he can play, but Hunter Henry does have some injury history that I would be a little bit concerned about if the Dolphins would have signed him or the Patriots or anybody else. Let me see. Games played. He missed all of 2018, played 13 of 14. 14, I'm sorry, in 17, 12 in 19, and 14 this past year. So he misses games every year and has already missed an entire season.
They committed close to $50 million to Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, well, Aguilar is not bad.
Kind of a fluky year on his part.
I like Aguilar. I'm not gonna go with you on that one. The Kendrick Bourne one, I don't see it, but maybe they think he's a Wes Welker type or something like that they've got a diamond in the rough that nobody sees and whatever. And I know he had 74 targets this year and all that good stuff.
$140 million of the money that they've handed out is guaranteed.
Yeah, well, it's free agency, baby. It's free agency.
Some of these moves come off as desperation.
Yeah.
I'm with you on Jonnu Smith. I'm not a big fan of Nelson Aguilar. He had the 4th highest drop rate in the NFL last year. He can get open, that's cool, but you got to catch the ball. And Kendrick Bourne, to me, it seems like an overpay, just point blank.
I just counted it now. Hunter Henry's missed 25 games in the 5 seasons he's been in the NFL.
There you go. Yeah.
25 games. So that one, I know he's talented, but I also know he's very injury prone and has missed games. So that's the one thing that one, when they made that signing, I was like, okay, if he can stay healthy, then you got a nice 1-2 punch. If he doesn't stay healthy, then you're going to be pissed off. So I get that some of you out there, you're trained for the normal Dolphin stupidity. That's not happening. Alan Poupar, who covers the Dolphins for SI and also covers the Panthers for NHL.com. We will talk to him next.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com. Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dano, you missed.
And this happens in a lot of food polls, right? When I put out a food discussion, and I claim that one thing is better than the other, the people who are the fans of the thing that I don't like as much will always say, oh, you've never had my abuelita's tres leches. Well, no crap. I don't know your grandma. She's never invited me. I hate that argument. It's like, oh, wait, you think tiramisu is better? You've never had my abuelita's homemade tres leches. Well, until she invites me over, bro, how am I supposed to try? You've clearly never been to Florence where they have great tiramisu, so don't give me your crap. You've never had my nonna's tiramisu.
Yeah, I haven't.
And you'll never have it. She's dead.
Oh, God.
You'll never have it.
I really wanted to.
You're SOL. She didn't save the recipe. It died with her.
Oh, no.
Man of the Match with Alex Dano on South Florida's home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Saturday mornings, 9 a.m., Sean Stanley hosts the Square Circle Digest.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man.
Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com. Onside Radio continues to grow. To make your life easier, you can now find your favorite sports station by downloading the MyTuner Radio app and listen to your favorite OnsideRadio.com host or catch a great Inter-Miami CF match. Go to your app store, download MyTuner Radio, and search Onside Radio, the home for the South Florida sports fan.
Hello, Inter-Miami CF fans. Download the Drink AR app and play inside a first-of-its-kind virtual soccer stadium, hosted by Bodega Trevento and Inter-Miami CF, and celebrate your passion for soccer from the comfort of your own home. Find the download links on our Instagram account at Treventus and get our wines delivered straight to your home with a discount for all Inter-Miami CF fans. Discover Trevento, a shared passion.
keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
Don't count out the Cats once again. The Florida Panthers with another comeback win over the Chicago Blackhawks. Panthers stormed back from a 3-1 deficit to win 6-3. Sasha Barkov had a goal and 2 assists on the night, while Sergei Bobrovsky continued his impressive play with a 26-save performance. The Panthers are now first in the Central Division, the best record in the NHL. They take on the Nashville Predators on Thursday. The Miami Heat return to the court tonight. They take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in Miami. Heat are currently 10.5-point favorites according to Vegas. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. Bam Adebayo listed as probable as the Heat look for their 22nd win. And we've got Champions League action today. Manchester City takes on Mönchengladbach, and Real Madrid takes on Atlanta. Both City and Real Madrid, the betting favorite. Both those matches kick off at 3 p.m. With your Onside Sports update, I'm Tito Bonacci. Coming up next, it's more of the Onside Zone with the Big O right here. OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Let's talk a little Dolphins football. Alan Poupart does an excellent job of covering the Dolphins for many, many years now. You can follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Catch his work at Sports Illustrated and also the Dolphin Digest. Let's bring him aboard. Alan, good afternoon, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. What up, Big O?
So I am loving life, my man. Should Dolphin fans be freaking out because the Dolphins are not active?
Why? Why would they be freaking out?
Well, because they're used to them throwing out money for many, many years now. Mike Wallace and Ndamukong Suh and all that kind of Josh Sitton and all this stuff that they've done over the years. So and last year they did spend some money on defense because they had to. So they were kind of expecting a lot of spending this year. So what do you tell the Dolphin fans that are freaking out right now?
I would say they're addressing this wisely by not throwing crazy money at players either who duplicate what they already have, cough, cough, Kenny Galladay, or at positions where you don't throw big money at in free agency, cough, cough, Aaron Jones, which they never had the chance to do, but I know a lot of Dolphin fans wanted that to happen. So right now they have a couple of really clear needs. One of them that really surfaced after they not only dumped Kyle Van Noy, but then traded Shaq Lawson, is they need an edge defender / pass rusher, big time. A lot of them went off the market yesterday with Bud Dupree, Leonard Floyd resigning with the Rams, Matt Judon going to Baltimore, but there's still a couple of them out there. Melvin Ingram, Hassan Reddick, who really busted out for Arizona last year. The Dolphins will need to get a center, and I'm pretty sure they will do that in free agency, whether they're able to land David Andrews from New England. And if they fail to pick up a center in free agency, my best guess is they're going to just go ahead and re-sign Ted Karras if, for example, they can't land David Andrews. So I wouldn't be worried that they haven't made some big splash signings like the Patriots did. A, because the Patriots obviously had some more holes in the Dolphins for a change, and B, because New England had so much cap space going in, and they just went nuts.
Are you a fan of Kenny Galladay is he a good fit for the Miami Dolphins in your eyes?
No, I'm not a fan of that move, and I'll tell you why. Because if I tell you he's 6'4", not necessarily fast, and he's great at making contested catches, am I not describing Devontae Parker and Preston Williams when he's healthy? And if that's the case, isn't it kind of redundant? And you're going to throw big money at a guy like that to bring a skill set that you already have? And if you do that, does that mean that you're going to move on from Devontae Parker with a post-June 1st cut to clear like $12 million of salary cap space, or $9 million? I think it's $9 or $12 million. I keep messing up the two. But are you going to do that to justify bringing a guy with the same skill set? So, no, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the move. I understand from everything I'm hearing they are in the mix to sign him. I would much prefer seeing a guy who gives them a different skill set and what to me what this wide receiver core is lacking more than anything else is a speedster outside, whether that be John Brown, who just got released from the Bills purely for salary cap reasons, or maybe you bring in local hero T.Y. Hilton. I would prefer that move to signing Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think you want a little more speed. I like Galladay a lot, but I just think he's a big physical possession type receiver, and in a way, you know, it's Preston Williams kind of does the same stuff. If you can keep him healthy, I could kind of get that kind of production from him. I want speed, and I think that's what they're looking for. So whether it's T.Y. Hilton, a Marvin Jones, the Samuel kid, I think that's kind of the direction I would like to see them go. Seems like you agree.
I totally agree, and I forget to mention Curtis Samuel is another possibility. Yeah, he's another guy that I would like because I'm with you. They need something different. I've also heard Juju Smith-Schuster mention as a possibility, but you're going to pay out really, really big money for a guy who averaged 8 yards a reception last year, 8.0, whatever it was. I mean, that's the reason they wound up letting go Jarvis Landry. They didn't want to throw big dollars at a slot guy. So I don't see why years later you would do that for a guy who, oh, by the way, is not as good as Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. That's, to me, that the thing about Juju for me in my eyes is he wants number one when he's not a number one. I see him as a number two. So that doesn't really solve the issue for the Dolphins. The Dolphins need a number one alpha dog out on the field to kind of open it up for everybody else. I don't think Juju's that guy. I really don't. That's my bigger problem with Juju is that he thinks he's a number one and he wants number one money. I think it would be a mistake if Miami gives him number one money.
Completely agree. And here's the other thing, too, about the wide receiver core. If you go back to last year, Dolphins didn't make one move with their wide receiver core in the offseason, whether it be free agency or the draft. Why? Because they had a lot of bodies, a lot of guys who were solid complementary players. Parker, Preston Williams, Albert Wilson, Alan Hearns, Jakeem Grant, whatever you want to say about him as a receiver. But none of that has changed, assuming Preston Williams comes back healthy. So they do have depth at wide receiver. What they don't have is a bona fide stud because you can't rely on Devontae Parker to stay healthy because he's done it just one time in 6 NFL seasons.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. What do they do about the offensive line? What are they settled there, do you think? Will they go after a center? Because obviously the Green Bay center is off the board now. So do you see them do something in free agency, or is this something that they may end up filling in the draft?
Well, no, the one thing that they have to do in free agency is they have to secure a center, yeah, because the guy they had last year as their starter, Ted Karras, they signed to a 1-year contract, so he's an unrestricted free agent starting tomorrow. So this is why I mentioned that they're going after David Andrews, who started ahead of Karras in New England until he had a blood clot issue in 2019. Karras took over, then the Dolphins signed him. Andrews came back, and Andrews just happens to be a little bit better player than Karras. It's not a huge difference, but it's a clear upgrade that Andrews, by pretty much everybody's account, is a better center than Karras. So the Dolphins are going to try to land David Andrews. If they can't, I don't think they'd have any problem circling back and seeing if they could re-sign Ted Karras, if he would be agreeable to doing that. And I think if they give him a good enough contract, that he absolutely would be agreeable. So my guess is the center in 2021 is going to be either one of those two guys.
Well,
for the rest of the offensive line, here's the thing: is Eric Flowers has a contract that basically means he's absolutely on the roster in 2021, and then you got all the kids that you picked up last year. So unless it's a clear guy, major upgrade, which you wouldn't get in free agency because then you'd have to throw big dollars at him, then again, to me, the only alternative there might be Penei Sewell at number 3. If in your evaluation, if you're the Dolphins, you decide that guy's going to be like an all Hall of Fame left tackle.
All right, so let me ask you something. I think the move from last week when they traded for the offensive lineman, I I think that's the signal that they're not drafting Penei Sewell at number 3 whatsoever, because it makes no sense. You have 3 guys battling for the right tackle spot. Austin is happy at left tackle. You draft Penei, and now you say, okay, we're going to put you at left tackle. Now you piss off Austin. You pissed off the kid you just traded for because he's fighting for a backup spot now. Now you've created an unhappy situation by drafting the one. And I know Penei is special. I get all of that. But you really throw everything off kilter now if you do that, unless you're going to tell Penei, all right, you're going to be at right tackle because we have a left-handed quarterback, and that's the blind side. So technically, our left tackle is the guy on the right side, and maybe you do that. But then Penei may not be happy, and the other 3 guys are SOL now. Drafting Penei Sewell would really create all kinds of havoc for them. You know what I mean? In one way. So considering all the moves they've made, that kind of indicates to me that they're not going in that direction in the top 3. Do you agree or disagree on that one?
Well, look, I'm not suggesting they're going to be drafting Sewell. All I'm saying is...
No, I know.
Okay, but here's the 2 things I would take issue with your argument there is, number one, you're under the impression the Dolphins really give 2 hoots that the players are going to be pissed off if they ask them to switch. That's number one. Number 2...
It's 3 guys.
Also operate. No, I understand that, but still, I mean, seriously, they're going to say, Austin, you're going to play right tackle, and you're going to like it. Right. I mean, that's how that conversation would go.
I get that, but now you got 3 guys in limbo. Like, holy crap! I thought we were all going to battle, and now we have no shot. That's basically what I'm just saying. It kind of overturns a bit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but here's the other caveat I would throw out there. A major word of caution is while everybody has to like the move that they made in trading for Isaiah Wilson, and I'm one of those. I love the move. It's incredibly low risk, high reward.
Yeah.
But let's not assume that automatically he's going to come to the Dolphins. All the issues he had last year will disappear, and he's going to be a big time starter for 10 years. If you recall a conversation you and I had, that was kind of the same word of caution I threw out last year when the Dolphins picked up Antonio Callaway. Where I know some fans.
Yeah, but that's a stardom. Wait a minute. The only difference is, and that's unfair. Callaway historically is a pain in the ass and immature. This kid had no issues at Georgia, 0. It was only while he was at Tennessee for this 1 year, his life went upside down. He has no track record whatsoever because I brought on several people that covered him at Georgia, and he was fine. He was terrific at Georgia. He was excellent at Georgia. So I don't know if this is an aberration. It's kind of a little of an unfair comparison on your, at least my opinion, on his part, on your part, because I think Callaway was a problem child for a long time compared to this kid. I'm just saying.
No, I understand. I understand. What I want to clarify, and no, I'm not comparing him in the sense that he's got the same kind of issues. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the notion that you pick up somebody that was dumped by somebody else who has a lot of ability, and all of a sudden you assume that the switch of venue and locale is going to solve the issues that he had, and you're going to get the best out of him, is kind of a far reach. You have to let it play out, and you don't assume anything. And the other issue with Wilson is again, this doesn't speak to anything about being a bad kid and all that. But at the time of, because I read up on his recruitment, and it was like basically he changed directions like 5 times in the span of 2 weeks. So that doesn't speak to anything other than maybe the kid has maturity issues or something, which obviously surfaced last year in Tennessee. All I'm saying is, yes, he's talented. By the way, not every scout agreed that he should have been a first-round pick last year. In fact, I asked Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network on a Zoom call about him, and he basically told me he had him ranked as the 66th best player last year coming out.
By the way, I got several NFL guys that they loved him, but they said he still fundamentally struggles with quick twitch guys, fast guys on the edge. he doesn't reset himself quick enough. And it's not because he lacks footwork or athleticism. It's just he has not really, because he's a road grader. And that's kind of what you did 60-something% of the time at Georgia. So he, in pass protection, needs to actually grow into that position. So I agree with you, because I had several NFL people that loved him, but gave me that one caveat. And that's the kind of caveat that drops you to the second round.
And not only that, and if you're going with the best case scenario route and saying this guy winds up being your starting right tackle, if Tua is still your starting quarterback, then that guy's protecting Tua's blind side. So all I'm saying is an absolutely good trade, no question about it, because it was such a low cost. But let's see how it plays out and if the kid actually pans out first before we start talking about the offensive line with him projected as a main contributor.
All right, we got to wrap it up here. Alan Poupart, make sure you follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. If they're going to sign one free agent, who's it going to be? What's the name free agent that people have been waiting for? We've talked about several of them in this conversation. Who's the one guy you think ends up a Dolphin?
It's David Andrews, but I don't know if that's as splashy as
I love it.
Fans would want.
I love it.
I mean, it's a lot splashier than Ethan Carter, I will tell you that.
Yeah. Well, listen, before you came on, I go, yeah, I love the Patriots are signing all these guys, but they're losing the interior of their line, and they still don't have a quarterback. So I'm not that worried if I'm a Dolphins fan. Really, seriously. Terrific weapons, you're signing, whatever, but I still don't see the quarterback that's going to really move the ball a lot. That's just me. But whatever, right?
Yeah, you completely lost me there. For what team?
For the Patriots.
Oh, you're talking about New England?
Yeah.
Well,
if you're about to lose, you lost your guard, you're about to lose your center. That's the middle of your line. I still have no respect for Cam Newton as a passer. So to me, it doesn't matter who you sign. I still don't buy the middle of your offense. So
okay, let me play devil's advocate
Do
for
it.
a second, though.
Do it.
If folks are going to defend Tua last year for not having weapons around him, I'm sorry, what exactly did Cam have to work with at tight end and wide receiver last year? I mean, holy smokes, that was a bad group.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to argue that. I still don't buy Cam as a passer. Never have, never will. He's an athlete still trying to throw the ball. He's a thrower, not a passer, as they say in pitching. To me, he's not the guy I fear with the arm. I only fear him when he's running the ball. And if the offensive line and the running game are dominant, which it was in that first matchup, that's why you ended up losing that game, not because you lost because of his arm. So to me, at this Cam now, I just don't fear this Cam like the one that, came out of Auburn and won an MVP. That to me is that dude's long gone already at this point. That's just me.
No, that's fair. I mean, he's not the guy who won MVP with Carolina in 2015. That's for sure.
No doubt. All right, so good. They get the center. I like it. Alan, what are you working on SI so folks can check you out, my brother?
The answer is yes. I'm working on everything we've talked about, all the free agency stuff, and I'm gonna want to write something as an under the radar signing that would not surprise me in the least. I don't want to give it away, but it'll be up on alldolphins.com pretty shortly.
All right, and we will be retweeting it for you. Alan, as always, you're a stud, my brother. Thank you for taking some time.
Always enjoy it, Big O.
You got it, baby. You be good. Weeknight, 6 to 7 p.m. Catch Game Night with Michael Christian. Listen to the show, baby, that provides the smorgasbord gamers love and sports fans desire, from breaking sports news to the latest in the gaming culture. Catch Game Night with Michael Christian from 6 to 7 p.m. exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnsideRadio.com.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit more2adhd.com for additional information. That's more2adhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
And the top trait they're looking for in a partner is someone that can cook better than them.
Wow.
Yeah. How are you at cooking?
I'm okay. I cook
boy.
all my stuff.
What's your best dish? If I had to say, Marsh, this you're gonna eat in tonight with a girl. All right.
Well, if I'm cooking for a girl, then I'm not cooking.
4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Alrighty, welcome back. Final segment of hour number 1 here on the program. Hope you all are doing well out there. George Richards, by the way, is set to join us in hour number 2. He'll join us in the third segment right around 1:34. So we'll have a little fun with him. I want to address a couple of Dolphins topics to start off hour number 2. I'm sorry. I want to go over some NFL things, a little heat I want to talk about. Let me see, what else do we have? Somebody making an ass of themselves. I like it. I've got also some sound from, I would say it's the Latin, damn it, what's, now I'm forgetting, Adam's family, Lurch. Lurch is in Adam's family, and he is the butler. Really tall butler. You rang. So I want you guys to prepare yourselves because I'm going to show you who the Latin Lurch is. And I talk to him every morning pretty much when I stop at this Mickey D's to get this and order the same thing every day, just this. And it's just funny the way he greets you. And it's just when I sent it to Tito, because you could tell the guy, I wonder if the guy was looking at the camera, because you know there's a camera on you when you're ordering, right? So when you stop there, I took out my phone and I pressed record. Just right by the speaker, just so I could get it. You got to hear this guy anyway. So I've been wanting to record it, but I always forget. And today I remembered as I was pulling up, I go, let me pull out the recorder and send it to Tito. and so we can have a little fun. It's the Latin Lurch, okay? I'm not going to tell you what McDonald's it is because that wouldn't be nice. You know what I mean? But still, it's kind of funny. So we got hour number 2 coming up. Got a bunch of things we'll get into, and we'll talk to George Richards. Don't forget, folks, that OnsideRadio.com gives you a ton of options to listen to the radio station. You can now download free apps from radio.net, Podbean, Radio FM, MyTuner Radio, Simple Radio. We just got added by iVox, IVOOX. So plenty of apps to listen to. YouTube. I mean, there are so many ways. Twitch. Many ways to listen, to watch. So we give it to you. Download any of these free apps and listen to your favorite Onside Radio host. You can visit our website, OnsideRadio.com, to find all of these links.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Welcome to OnsideRadio.com. Broadcasting from South Florida to the world. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk.
This is like rock and roll with no music.
Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The Onside Zone.
Well, and look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The Onside Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The Onside Zone with a Big O.
All right.
I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay.
All right, we're back. Hour number 2. Welcome back. If you want to get in, by the way, I didn't even give out the phones or the text line all in the first hour. 888-441-4623. If you want to get in on the phone lines, 888-441-4623. Yeah, we actually take your phone calls here. Yeah, we actually want to, associate and actually connect with the listeners and our fellow fans, because you guys are Heat fans and Dolphin fans and Canes fans and Panther fans and Marlins fans and Inter Miami fans and UM fans and FIU and FAU, and it's what we're all about, man. So we like to connect with everybody, so you can reach out on the text line also, 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123 if you want to get in. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in a question there on YouTube. We're watching on Twitch. Appreciate all of you out there. You can also send in questions if you're if you're listening on Podbean. Since you can watch us live there, you can also send in any questions. Tito will give me the question and I will answer it. Okay, so you can actually send it in. Let's see. Big O, one of my favorite Dolphin friends, is worried about the Patriots now that they've been spending like crazy. I told him that I'm not worried about the Patriots because they have no QB, and Bill can't win without Tom. I'm liking Dolphins not spending like crazy this year. G from Pennsylvania. It's they're doing the smart thing, man. But again, your friend is trained to be a dumb fan because the Dolphins were stupid for many years, and their fans have become just as dumb as the Dolphins were before Chris Greer and Brian Flores took over. Alexander says, oh, how's it going? I know I asked you about the Patriots signing yesterday on Twitter, and I agree. In my opinion, they will still suck and be in salary cap hell. But do you see the Finns making a play for Reddick and Juju and Galladay, maybe get Andrews? How do you see this playing out with us? And the Panthers still won't be my boys, the Islanders, LOL, Alexander Rene Diaz. Listen, I don't think they're going to sign a lot of big names. Maybe they get one of those guys, but I think they're going to wait for the desperation to set in and the money to dry up, and then they're going to be able to get a couple of bargains. I think that's what they're going to try to do. This is a team that's not going to live off of free agency. They're going to build through the draft. That's what they're going to do. So that's what I would expect to happen. Let's see. What else do we have here? On YouTube. Tony Zagalis says, going to miss Fitz, but no way am I paying him $10 million to back up Tua. Now, listen. Let me address this because Fitz signed with the Washington Redskins. And I'm happy for him, man. I appreciate what Fitz did here for the Miami Dolphins. Let me take a zip here. And I said it with a Z, huh? It's sip. Anyway, so listen, you look at this situation, and I get it that some of you have kind of, fallen in love with Fitz. He's a likable cat, no doubt about it. And it came at the right time. Miami needed a bridge quarterback, and they got it in Fitz. But Fitz is a guy that wants to play more. And that's why he signed with Washington, because they have nobody. You know what I mean? They don't have a quarterback. Taylor, what was it, Heineke or whatever? I mean, I saw the kid play. Heineke is not a starting quarterback. I think I watched him in the XFL too, if I'm correct. I want to say Heineke was also in the XFL. I'm not sure now, but I think I saw him in the XFL. But anyway, watching him play, he's a backup, is what he is. And so is Fitz. And there's a reason why Fitz has never been to the playoffs and never led a team to the playoffs. And there's a reason why he's thrown a boatload of interceptions. He's super likable. He's the perfect bridge quarterback. And that's what's going to happen in Washington. They're probably going to invest in another young quarterback, and Fitz will fill the gap until the young guy starts. Now, last year, Tua was coming off a hip injury, and it was his rookie year. So the team probably did not want to put the weight of the world on the kid and expectations. So when there were some struggles, they had him pull back to an extent of even putting him on the bench so he could kind of check it out. Those days are done. And that's why when you see this move, there's a couple of layers to it. One, I doubt the team wants somebody that's the backup constantly campaigning about playing and starting, because then that creates a divide, whether you like it or not, because some people will get suckered and then they will believe in Fitz. And any little thing that Tua does, they want to go to Fitz right away because they think that's the answer. Okay? I mean, we had a guy in charge, right, that lied to everybody about the virus. And there's a bunch of you out there that you got suckered and you believed it, right? So this is a very gullible society. People fall for things. So you don't want that hanging around your franchise. Okay? Because people are dumb. They fall for things. That's just the way it is. And then you start creating a controversy when there isn't a controversy. They need a backup that is going to be happy to be a backup and possibly start when they call you. Not because you're demanding, not because you're saying, yeah, I'm disappointed. I really wanted to start and it hurt and all this and that, when you were never the answer. They never brought you in to be the guy. At no point did the Dolphins ever tell Fitz, you're the guy. We're going to ride it with you. Never. The whole plan was, hey, you're the starter for now. We got to get our young guy. Eventually we'll get our young guy. You'll help us develop. Sure enough, that's what it was supposed to be. So that's where the roles have changed. They don't need that drama behind the scenes. And this year, there will be no pulling of Tua. If you pulled Tua, it's because he's injured or because he's playing so bad that he's going to get benched for several weeks. Hopefully neither one of those happen. But this is a year where he's going to have to fight through his struggles, figure out what goes on in the defense, and play his way through it like every rookie has ever played through everything in the NFL. Why? Because now he's healthy. Physically, mentally, everything. He'll have an entire offseason. He'll be comfortable. He'll be playing with his players and practicing with his players in all the mini camps, training camp, preseason. So now you're going to have a well-prepared pro to go into season 2. He's got a year of experience under his belt, and now he's got an entire offseason where he's not rehabbing. He's actually playing football and fine-tuning everything else. So there's no reason to have the backup that is going to be campaigning for a job. So he campaigned for a job. He's going to Washington, where they have no quarterback, where eventually they will draft one this year, next year, and he will have to give way. Why? Because at Washington, they're not starting him because he's the answer. They're starting him because he's the bridge. That's why. So Miami now will look for a seasoned backup, probably, that will be happy to be the backup, that knows his role, that is there to feed Tua as much information as possible, that's there to help Tua like every good backup has been forever. Okay? Don Strock helped out immensely. Marino, we're talking about one of the greatest of all time. Marino benefited from having the career backup behind him that was like a coach. In fact, it was Don Strock that called the spike play against the Jets. It was Don Strock that told Shula and Marino, hey, let's run the spike play here. And the rest is history. Okay? So that's what they need now. They need to find the guy that is incredibly happy to be the backup, that is extremely happy to provide the information, that is very comfortable with being technically an assistant coach with a helmet on, and that knows his role and his place on the team. Fitz had gotten to the point where he had some success. He won some of you over, and some of you are gullible enough to kind of buy into that Fitzpatrick is the answer to anything. And he's not. He's only an answer to be the bridge or a mediocre starter. Great guy, phenomenal human being. God bless him. I really ended up liking him more as a person and a player after watching him here for a couple of years and all that. But I completely understand why the Dolphins had to turn the page. It's pretty simple. It's pretty obvious. So let's move on. And now let's see who they can get as some kind of a backup. Okay? And who knows? They may draft a young guy somewhere in the middle rounds to late rounds and try to develop him, not because they're not comfortable with Tua, but it's because it's the smart thing to do. you can never stop looking for quarterbacks. So maybe a Kellen Mond in the middle of the rounds falls to you there and you take a chance. Something like that. Never know. But that's the reason why Fitz is not here. It was the right thing to do. It's the time to move on. Fitz wanted more, and that more is not what the Dolphins can provide. The Dolphins have to move on. They have their franchise quarterback. They have to now focus on developing him. They now have to focus on building the team around him so he can succeed. Give him the line. Get him the running game. Find him receivers that can get separation and can create better passing windows for Tua. That's the job now for the Miami Dolphins. We do want to remind you folks that Onside Radio, you can watch Onside Radio daily by subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Search Onside Radio, log on, subscribe, rate, and review, baby. Onside Radio on YouTube and Twitch. OnsideRadio.com, South Florida's home for real sports talk.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
She's kind of a big deal. Some people like to say it's only because of how she looks. She sticks her tongue out a lot. But there's just something about her that makes people do crazy things, like get tattoos of her face, or wait in line for hours just to say hi. Lil Bub is a 2-year-old cat, an Instagram celebrity with a following bigger than some 90s television stars. And it all started because she was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Lil Bub, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Riddle me this, with all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to 2 of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnsideRadio.com.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dano, you missed.
So Deshaun Watson has sat down with new Texans head coach David Culley. Did he have his teeth in for the interview, David? He's a little older.
Hold on, let me get my dentures in here, Deshaun. Deshaun, hey, just give me a second. We're eating this pineapple here. It's getting stuck in my dentures.
Was he watching Murder, She Wrote during the meeting?
Deshaun, it's getting a little late here. It's 7 o'clock. I got to go to bed soon, all right?
Deshaun, it's 4:30. I've got to go to the early bird special.
Deshaun, give me a second. I'm just taking my Metamucil here. If you just give me a second.
I've taken Metamucil before, actually. It works. I'm not even that old.
Man of the Match with Alex Dano, weekdays live on South Florida's home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
By the way, G in Pennsylvania, thank you. Appreciate you as always. It was Bernie Kosar, the backup quarterback, not Don Strock. that called the spike play, suggested the spike play. He is right. It was actually Bernie, not Don. But again, that's my point is the backup quarterback has to be there to sell out and trying to help your quarterback succeed in your team, not worried about his starting and his playing. And I think it's something that it's understandable if Fitz wants to do that because he has a lot of fun playing. Good for him. But Miami's in a different spot now and not necessarily where Fitz wants to be at this point. Kenneth Cleveland, by the way, is live from the Boom Boom Room. He says, as owner and CEO of the Boom Boom Enterprises and waiving the Smokey the Bandit rule for Tito for this one time, Dono and I agreed Tito is getting married, so Tito can have his bachelor party in the Boom Boom VIP room. I like it. I like it. So there you go, Tito. You got the bachelor party. Where are you having your bachelor party, by the way, Tito?
I have not decided that yet. I got engaged this past weekend, so I haven't really hammered out plans yet.
Have you given that responsibility to one of your friends?
I will.
Okay.
It's probably gonna be my brother, but yeah.
Okay. All right. What's your brother? What kind of type of dude is he?
He's a 34-year-old lawyer with 3 kids.
Okay.
He had a fun bachelor party though when he got married, so I would imagine this is an opportunity for him to relive his youth. So.
Okay. All right. So you got some potential there. All right. I was just wondering if you had a lame-ass brother, and I'm like, okay, well then, he's not really going to help you out and having a good time in your bachelor party. And I'm not talking about, sex, okay? I'm just talking about having a good time. Sometimes some people are boring, So, all right, we got potential. Going to try to relive his youth. Uses this bachelor party as an excuse. That might work. Lisa says, I'd love to see us bring in Alex Smith, but he is the same as Fitz. No, he's worse than Fitz. I don't think he feels he's a backup. He believes he can still play in a number one, but he would be a great mentor for Tua. He would be a great mentor for Tua, but I watched him, and I would not even want him on the team. He's not the same player that he used to be. I mean, bless him, man. What a comeback by him. What an amazing way to bounce back from that injury. But at this point in time, Lisa, I watched him play. He's not even Fitz. Not even close. But where you're 1,000% right, Lisa, he would be a good backup and a guy that, you can bounce stuff off of. And I think that would work for him. And so I don't know if in his mind he still thinks he can start, but definitely he wants to play. And not necessarily start, but just be a part of a team. The only thing is with that injury history, I don't know if they take the chance on him now, especially coming back from that brutal injury. I don't know if they want to be a part of that. Let's see. Alex Diaz says, it's funny. I'm listening on Mike and Mike, and he says for all the people that are counting the Patriots out, he says, we are all fools. He says, they are right with their with Buffalo. I was laughing. Bro, are you talking about like Mike Greenberg?
You'd be surprised at the amount of people up in Bristol that still call shows Mike and Mike occasionally.
Right. What's it called now?
Greenie.
Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, Alex, my brother, Mike Greenberg looks like a really nice guy off the air. Okay? As for his sports opinion, I just think it's very trollish at times, and I think he thinks of some weird stuff, and it's just, I'm sorry, dude. This is what I would say, Alex. Do yourself a favor, bro. Pick better programming. That's all I got to say. If you want real sports talk, good sports talk, it's not Mike Greenberg, bro. It's not Mike Greenberg. He just does stuff to troll. He doesn't really, and when he has to really try to give you a strong sports opinion on something, it sucks. That's why I can't listen to the guy anymore. So, You know, I can just tell you that. That's all. What else do we have? Just read the Stones article, Damage Done, about a year without live music concerts. The roadies, fans, and bands are ready to be back. However, 300 independent venues went under. Thoughts? Pain, bro. Sucks. It sucks, Dougie. Now, this is what's going to happen because we're Americans and we're a capitalistic society. All the businesses that went under, I don't mean anything bad by this, okay? Please don't take this in a bad way. They will all be replaced because they now become opportunities for others. So the sad fact is we had a lot of Americans lose their businesses for no reason at all. We had a lot of Americans lose jobs in those businesses for no reason at all. But when we do bounce back and we have all of our freedoms, there will be several voids in our communities all throughout the country. And those voids will be filled by future business owners down the line. So if, 15 dry cleaners close, you'll probably get 10 to 12 of them back. Different owners, different companies, but it'll be opportunities. So the venues, somebody's going to see value in there, and they're going to open up a venue of a certain size that is missing. And that's it. That's what's going to happen. I wonder if the Culture Room is still around, and I think Revolution Live is too.
Revolution Live is still around.
Yeah, so I don't know if we lost any venues locally, by the way. I'm not sure. I don't know about any venues that closed, like Club Space, where you can see concerts. Well, it's also a club. So I don't think it's going anywhere. Revolution Live, I don't think it's going anywhere. Pompano Beach Amphitheater is still there. The Fillmore's still there. I don't know if we lost any in South Florida, thank the Lord. All of our stadiums are still here. Pompano Beach Amphitheater is still here. I'm sure Meisner Park is still here. Sunset Cove, another terrific place to go see a concert. God, I love Sunset Cove. I know it's a far drive for me down south, but it is worth every penny of that drive. And watching a concert off that lake, and then the sun setting behind, it is sweet, man. Sweet place to see a concert. I would imagine that's still there because obviously it's a park and all that. So I think we're pretty fortunate down here that we probably did not lose any venues whatsoever in South Florida. If there's one that you guys know, please tell me. Sucks if we did. Let's see. What else? You can't believe that the iPick in Delray didn't survive the pandemic. What's iPick? I'm not sure what iPick is, bro. The vinyl here in Pensacola survived. So Zima on for me for the next concert. Wait a minute. The vinyl is the place where I went to go see Steve Harris, right? Is that the place I went to, Dougie? Is that the that's a groovy place. The place where I saw Iron Maiden's band, Lion something or whatever it's called, I think. Yeah, it's a cool place. I like that. So I'll be there with you. I'll buy you that Zima, okay? I pick theaters. Okay, well, yeah, theaters. Yeah, I'm sure we lost several movie theaters. I don't keep track. I hate to be a jerk about this, Alex, but I rarely go to the theaters. So that to me is not something that kind of, I think about. Concerts is something that is near and dear to my heart. Let's see. Matt says, would you like Jacoby Brissett to be a backup? Yeah. That's a solid backup. Kid knows he's a backup. He's got experience, smart. Yeah, Jacoby Brissett would be a nice backup. No doubt. Got no problem with that. Backup isn't going to be your answer, folks. Doesn't matter. Rarely. Yeah, the Hostetler and, every once in a while you'll get a Foles and, but more often than not, the backup's not really going to bail you out. All right, let's take a quick break. George Richards is going to join us on the other side. Let's talk a little hockey with Mr. Richards. Don't forget, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., Sean Stanley hosts a Square Circle Digest. Now wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
He has an overbite that makes him look like a cartoon character, a slightly crooked eye, and an uncommonly wrinkly neck. In the right light, he can look a little like a garden gnome, and he'll wear a bow tie just because. Sure, you might call him a little quirky, but that's exactly what makes him so perfect. Tuna is a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix with more than 700,000 followers on Instagram, and it all started because he was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Tuna, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Catch a South Florida staple every afternoon as Alex Dano hosts the Man of the Match. Dano covers everything from football to football to MMA. Tune in to one of the most complete sports shows in the country with Man of the Match with Alex Dano from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every weekday, exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
The Ice Cats have done it again. They make a comeback last night to beat the Chicago Blackhawks 6-3. The Panthers came back from a 3-1 deficit. Sasha Barkov with a goal and 2 assists, while Sergei Bobrovsky combines 26 save performance. The Panthers are now first in the Central Division. They take on the Nashville Predators on Thursday. The Miami Heat return to the court tonight. They take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in Miami. Heat currently a 10.5-point favorite according to Vegas. Tip-off set for 8 p.m. Bam Adebayo listed as probable. The Heat going for win number 22 on the year. And we got Champions League action today. Manchester City takes on Mönchengladbach in their second leg, and Real Madrid takes on Atalanta. Both those matches kick off at 3 p.m. City and Madrid both going in as the betting favorites. With your Onside Sports update, I'm Tito Bonacci. Coming up next, it's more of the Onside Zone with the Big O right here, OnsideRadio.com.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I love it. Cardano is soaring. All right, that's my crypto talk for the day. All right, let's talk a little Okie. George Richards does an excellent job for FloridaHockeyNow.com. Make sure you go to the website. Make sure you follow George Richards, doing an excellent job of covering the Cats on a daily basis. They are exploding like Bitcoin. Right, George? Is that what's going on?
I haven't checked my Bitcoin today, but yeah, the what do the old timers say? The stock is rising.
Yes, yes. And don't worry, Bitcoin's bouncing back at 55,000. Don't worry about it. We'll go over 60.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Dude. Yeah. Did you see who was it that I read? Russell Okun. That dude got half of his 2020 salary, which was $13 million, and Bitcoin was at $27K in December of 2020. He put half of his salary in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, you still got to worry about the tax man. So it's not all fun and games, my friend.
You still come out profit, dude. Doesn't matter. You're still profiting. You know what I'm saying? So.
Hey, that's the Bobby Bonilla deal, right? I mean, he puts the deferred.
Yes.
He's still getting paid.
Yeah. Did you ever see his wife?
Who? Bobby Bonilla?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
He hit another jackpot there. I'm just saying. He was collecting big time in other ways too. I got to give him credit. He had a model-like wife. I mean, she wasn't a model, but she should have been a model. Like, she was drop dead gorgeous, bro. That 97 team with Dalton and Dalton also had that Hooters girl and all that. That was an interesting crew there in 97. Let's get.
They had it going on that 97 Marlins.
Yes,
there ain't no doubt.
Yes, there was a lot of swag in that clubhouse.
You probably remember this. Do you remember that spring training in 97? The Hurricanes were playing the Marlins up in Vieira.
Yes.
Bobby Bonilla grabbed one of the aluminum bats from the Hurricanes and hit the baseball so far it landed in a lake. It was like, man, I wish we could use these.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and shortly after that, years before that, they were all juicing. They were doing stuff like that, actually.
Right,
in those days. Speaking of juicing, Mr. Zito, he juiced up this team in the offseason, my brother. I'm sitting there last night, I'm watching this, and I'm going, wow, Dale Talon really sucks. Because, dude, you had the core, and you couldn't find the pieces around it to really lift it up and take it over the top. And that's where I got to give Bill Zito a boatload of credit, dude. He identified the issues. He solved the issues. And right now, we're looking at the best team in the NHL right now, points-wise. I mean, are you effing kidding me, dude? It's pretty amazing what's gone on, and you cover it every day.
Yeah, no, they are hitting on all cylinders right now. I mean, this is a team that I think when we talked before the season started, I told you I thought that they would compete for a playoff spot, that they would be one of the four teams fighting for a playoff spot. None of us ever thought that they would be up there with Tampa and Carolina, the two class teams of this division. And now they are, barring a collapse, they are entrenched in a playoff spot. And I think they need to start looking higher. They need to start thinking about winning this division and holding to what right now is theirs. And it flips back and forth. Carolina plays today. They win. They jump Florida. And it's going to go back and forth. But they have 4 games left against Carolina. They got 5 games left against Tampa Bay. There's a lot of games left. They're at the midway point. But this team needs to start thinking about winning this division, and I think they are. I think they're aiming higher than, most fans are just, with the Panthers, you just want them to make the playoffs because the bar has been set so low. But I think these guys are feeling it right now. I think they feel like they've got the real deal here, and we'll just have to see what happens.
George, I kind of tell Dolphin fans, stop living in the past. Stop worrying about stupid mistakes in the past. Stop worrying about the other shoe dropping. Stop worrying about bad coaching, bad front offices. It's a new day with this team into year 3. They got the right people in the front office. They got the right coaches, all of that. I think it's time for Panther fans to also put away the past and the shortcomings and not playing well and not getting it done and running out of gas at the end of a season when you're desperately trying to make up ground. All of these things, I think we need to put that into the past because this is a different team. I think we need to kind of readjust so we can actually enjoy what's going on. I almost feel like we have a lot of Panther fans that have been burned so much in the past by some hot start or something like that we all got on board and then we were all fooled because they weren't really that good. I think we got to stop doing that to ourselves. I think people need to really open themselves up and start committing to this team and really pouring your emotions into it because this team is for real.
Yeah, and they're fun to watch too, right? I mean, we yesterday with some of the guys, when they were down, 3-1 last night, there was like zero thought of concern, right? I mean, you just knew they were going to come back, and they do it every single game. And it was like boom, boom, boom. They flip a switch and it's a tie game, and then they get the Barkov goal midway through the third. You'd like to see this team take a lead and kind of put their foot down a little bit, and sometimes they do that, but most times they're kind of waiting around and playing a defensive game, and they give up a goal or two, and then they get into attack mode. And listen, what I like about this team is their record in 1-goal games, their record in overtime games, not necessarily the shootout. But I think that this team is built for winning close games, and that's gonna be very beneficial to them as we move down these final 28 games and into the playoffs.
Dude, one of our complaints last year while we're watching the team was there wasn't enough wins in regulation and in overtime. That was the issue where they missed out on a lot of points last year in those situations. They're not doing that this year. And you're so right about no panic. Last night you saw it, dude. They have the confidence that they have the firepower.
Yeah, they have the firepower, and when they're holding a lead, you don't see any panic. How many times did you watch a game late last year when they were up 4-3 or something, and you were just like, they're going to give up a goal here. They're going to you're going to be a turnover. They can't defend anybody, and you do not see that anymore. They're getting empty net goals. They're not getting anything close to whoever the goalie is, whether it's Drieger or whether it's Bobrovsky. And I think, that's been the biggest improvement in this team is their defensive play. Now, are they number one in the league in goals allowed? No, but you don't see the nasty turnovers. There was one last night from Anthony Duclair, but you don't see those abhorrent turnovers. You don't see that collapse defensively. You're seeing a good, clean game, and for the most part, they're moving forward with the puck. And when you're moving forward with it, good things are going to happen.
Oh, yeah. And I talked about this in the opening segment of the show that and you kind of touched on it there in your last comment, that normally when a team takes a lead like the Panthers did last night, and then the other team has to try to catch up, they are desperate and they're peppering your goaltender, and you've got to try to stop all these shots. Dude, last night he had 26 saves. In a game where you're up 6-3, in that third period, he should have been peppered with 20 shots alone in that period or maybe more, and yet 26 saves in 3 periods in a 6-3 game, it answers what you just said. The defense has improved.
Yeah, and the defense and their the way they play, they keep coming after you. Even when they've got the lead, they're not sitting back, and they're not content to hold on to a lead. They're still coming after your goalie, and that takes the pressure off your goalie as well. So, I like everything they've been doing right now. I mean, they're beating the good teams. They're beating the teams they should beat. I think some fans, sometimes, they lose a game to Detroit and oh my gosh, that happens. When you play the same team 8 times in a year, you're going to lose a couple games to that team. Tampa Bay just lost to Detroit. Those things are going to happen. But when you play the good teams, when you play the Carolinas and the Tampas and you're holding your own and it could go either way, that's the mark of a good team, and the Panthers right now are a good team.
Yeah, I'm with you. George Richards, by the way, follow him on Twitter, @GeorgeRichards, and, of course, catch his work at FloridaHockeyNow.com. We've had a little bit of a shift now, right? It looks like Bob is the guy, and Drieger is the backup now. Instead of a 2-man goalie, it looks like we're back to, okay, the guy we're paying the big money is our starter, and the other guy will play on the back-to-back nights. Is that what we're down to again?
Yeah, and I think that Joel Quenneville 2, 3, 4 weeks ago kind of laid it out that way. He said time is going to figure this thing out. If Driedge is the starter, then he's going to be the starter. If Bob's the starter, he's going to be the starter. You know what I mean? And Bob has 6 in a row now. His longest winning streak as a Panther. The Panthers have won 6 of 7 games, 8 of 9, something like that. So yeah, Sergei Bobrovsky has solidified his spot as the starter, and you can't take starts away from him right now. And that was what was happening at the beginning of the year. Driedge was taking starts away from him because you were riding the hot hand, and it just happened to be Chris Drieger. And he's going to get his chance. He's going to play this weekend. They got a back-to-back against Nashville on Saturday, and then they play in Tampa Sunday. I don't know who plays which day, but honestly, it doesn't matter because this team is playing so well in front of their goalies that you can put either one of those guys in and you're going to get a good performance. And I think that leads to their confidence as well because you're not just putting in, your usual, backup goaltender to hopefully survive. No, you got a chance to win with either of those guys.
All right, so you had the core. You had the stud coach. Now you had the new GM, and then the new GM brought in the players. Is it that simple that the ingredients that Zito brought in is what's making this dinner taste so good right now? Or is there another tangible or intangible that you can put your finger on that's really changed this whole game for the Panthers?
Well, I think the new additions have definitely helped. I think that you made some additions, you subtracted some things. I think that the additions that Bill Zito brought into the Panthers, just the first 2. Patrick Hornquist was the first one, and you had addition by subtraction with Mike Matheson going the other way. We talk about the turnovers near the net. You talk about the soft defensive play. Well, Mike Matheson, as talented as he is, and as much as I like the guy, he was never going to get over that hump here in Florida. He had to go somewhere else, and he's playing well in Pittsburgh. He's too talented not to succeed in this league, but it just wasn't going to happen here. So not only do you get rid of that, but you add a guy like Hornquist, who you've seen everything he's added to the mix. You bring in Radko Gudas, who gives you another big chunk of toughness. Nobody wants to play against that guy. He's leading the NHL hits. Nobody messes with him. And that's something that the Panthers never had before. And then you start.
Gabranson was not as good, but he was.
Okay, but not like this.
But he was an intimidator. But he was an intimidator, is what I mean.
A little bit, yeah, good, yeah. And they've had that early on, but we're talking about this guy is an all-star.
I'm with you.
This guy, I mean, he's the butcher for a reason. There was Goody and the butcher. Which one are you taking, pal?
Yeah, no, I'm going with the butcher. But the only reason I say it because from the moment they traded him, the team's just entire complexion changed. They became more of a finesse and soft team.
Because all he did was complain about them trading Gabranson. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Because the guys were running the Panthers off the ice, and there was no tough guy to take care of it. Absolutely. And Gabranson was the guy. But nobody's doing anything now. I mean, there's not even a hint, because you got Gudas back there, and if not Gudas, Hornquist will do it. Hornquist gets more penalties than Gudas does for roughing and, for messing with the goalie. So I think just bringing in that bit of toughness, and then you went value shopping, or it's a value when you get something, at a good price that's productive, and that's what they got in Carter Verhaeghe. He's a first-line guy. You got Anthony Duclair, first-line guy. You're paying him a fraction of what you were paying Mike Hoffman and Dadonov last year. So, and they're getting the exact same production. So the additions have been great. It's kind of changed the attitude around here. I think we talk too much about a change of culture, but there was something missing with the Panthers. Everybody knew that they had the talent. There was just something missing, and it seems like they've put the right ingredients into this stew where now it's pretty tasty.
It's a beautiful thing. Preview Nashville for us on Thursday. What do we expect?
Well, Nashville's a team that's hurting a little bit. I mean, they're not, they were a team that we thought that would compete into this top four, and just they haven't. I mean, they look like a team that's going to start selling pretty soon. The Predators are out of the playoff race, it looks like, midway through. They've got, they need to start rebuilding. So the Panthers need to get at least 3 of the 4 points, if not all 4 points. Keep this winning streak going. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Can Nashville beat the Panthers? Yeah, they've already done it once. But these are the teams you need to feast on. The Tampa Bay's feasting on them. Carolina's feasting on them. Florida's feasting on those teams. You need to keep that going.
Follow him on Twitter at George Richards, and lock it in, baby. FloridaHockeyNow.com, and get on that Panther bandwagon. George, as always, you're a stud, my brother. Thank you for taking time.
All right. See you, buddy.
You got it, baby. Let's take a break. We'll come back for the final segment of hour number 2 right here on OnsideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
If you missed NBA insider Ira Winderman and the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report, you missed this.
Because
you guys don't think I archive all this, but because Big O and everyone does such a great job, I remember you guys saying that Gabe Vincent would be the second coming of Jimmy Butler, and Max Strus would be the second coming of Tyler Hero. So again, I have 2 negative check marks for you guys, but I'll leave it at that.
The Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report with NBA insider Ira Winderman, exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
At Baptist Health, we are ready
to serve, to treat,
to safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams. We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health. And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Can I get a captain?
Captain and what?
Captain and Ginger.
I can't hear you.
Captain and Ginger. He was a captain and Ginger. Captain and Ginger. He was a captain and Ginger.
Captain Morgan, official partner of Major League Soccer.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
All righty. Welcome back, folks. Hope you all are doing well out there. We thank George Richards. Excellent interview, as always. It's just a lot of fun to see what the Panthers are doing. And you know, listen, selfishly, I'm a Panthers fan. I'm a South Florida guy. So I love all of our local teams, root for all of our local teams. I want all of our local teams to always be successful. So I'm a little biased in that sense. But you know me, I'm always objective. I always call it like I see it. It's just, I just wish they got more love from the public, and especially now. And you know, this whole pandemic thing has hurt all of us. And these are the moments where it also hurts a team like the Panthers, because they're now performing like the kind of team that could pack arenas. And if they can start to get to the point where they're packing that arena and creating a buzz around town, you know, I witnessed it already. I covered that craziness and that excitement. I saw your faces. I saw the arenas packed. I saw the run to the Stanley Cup. I was there. I covered it all. So I know it's possible. Don't tell me it's not possible, because we were packing an arena that was in the middle of Overtown. That's why I always laugh at anybody that tells me something about my town that I know about more than they do more often than not, because usually it's somebody from out of town or somebody who hasn't been in town very long. But I love it when somebody says, no, you got to build the stadium or the arena here because you'll get better attendance. And that's where I tell people, you're full of shit. You have no idea. You don't know this town. You can put the arena in Palm Beach. You can put it in Homestead. If you lose, we're not going to it. If you win, we will drive to the end of the earth in order to support it. That's why in Overtown, the arena was packed, because they were good. And then they kept bitching, oh no, we need to move our arena up north, closer to our fan base. That was the excuses. So they moved it to Sunrise and nobody went. Do you know why? Because they didn't bring the team with it. The team sucked, so you didn't draw. Has nothing to do with where you put an arena or a stadium. Nothing. Has to do with performance. And the way they're performing now, we should be packing the arena. 2 hours are done. We got one more to go. Tito Benash, the legend that he is driving the program. We'll have 4 fun numbers in hour number 3. We got a bunch of things to talk about. Don't forget that Sundays at 9 a.m., Juan Cardona dominates the airwaves with one-on-one. From sneakers to video games to your favorite South Florida team. Tune in every Sunday to one-on-one exclusively on the home for sports talk in South Florida, OnsideRadio.com.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Onside Radio. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk. Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
OnsideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Michael Christian.
Electronic Arts has now suspended discretionary content granting following the events of EA-Gate. EA-Gate was the Twitter name given to the allegations that someone involved with EA was selling rare FIFA Ultimate Team cards through black market channels. In a statement released, EA said the alleged behavior is unacceptable and in no way do we condone granting or purchasing player items in exchange for money. This practice runs counter to the game's competitive integrity, is a violation of EA's user agreement, and is not something we tolerate. All accounts involved have been banned and EA is currently investigating the individuals involved. If you are looking to improve your FIFA Ultimate Team by buying some packs or checking out the auction market, I'd hold off until all this gets sorted out.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The Onside Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The Onside Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The Onside Zone with a Big O.
All right. All righty, welcome aboard. Hour number 3 is on the air. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for supporting the show. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you all either watching on YouTube, subscribing. Please make sure you hit that like button, okay? Like that button, man. And not only should you subscribe and like that button, please, but also share it. Send it to a friend. Somebody that's another Dolphin fan or a Marlins fan or a Panthers fan or a Heat fan, Canes, FIU, you name it. We talk about everything here. So please make sure you guys share it. so we can grow the station and grow the community, which is very, very important for our long-term success, folks. So we appreciate it out there. What was I going to tell you now? I was going to tell you something. Damn it, I was thinking about something. Anyway, phones, 888-441-4623. If you want to get in, that's 888-441-4623. The text line, 844-416-8123. Many ways to contribute to the program. Of course, you can do it on the YouTube chat board, on Twitter, at Big O Show. If you have any questions, it's always a beautiful thing. Kind of like watching a stock go up and soar. It's definitely a beautiful thing. What do we have here that we want to talk about? Hey, congratulations to FAU's Trey Hendrickson. Half congratulations. 4 years, $60 million, $32 million guaranteed. You are playing for the Bengals. Just, kind of tough. I wish you were playing for a better team. But it is what it is. But, hey, bless you, man. You have turned into one heck of a player, and you deserve every single penny that Cincinnati's paying you, man. So, nice job by Trey Hendrickson. How about being a Bears fan? It's tough enough to be a Bears fan because it's always been a struggle. You can't find a quarterback. The last time you had one was Jim McMahon, and obviously they won one championship with that great defense that they had, and McMahon was until Martin slammed him to the ground. He was a pretty damn good quarterback. Had one heck of an arm, was tough as nails, was fearless. He was a lot of fun to watch, I got to tell you, and he sold his body out for the game. But it's tough to be a Bears fan because offense is always a challenge. It's tough to find a quarterback. So Bears fans started to get in this orgasmic state because all of a sudden they were linked to to Russell Wilson rumors. And we kept hearing about the teams he wanted to get traded to. Chicago was one of the teams mentioned. And you then start to hear that Chicago is interested and they're trying to they're trying to negotiate and they're trying to get it done. And then all of a sudden now you stop hearing that Russell Wilson and, the Chicago Bears are the option. And now if you're a Chicago Bears fan, you're now hearing the name Andy Dalton. And I got to tell you something. If I'm a Bears fan, I would be losing my mind that you're trying to bring in Andy Dalton. Which, Andy Dalton looks like a really nice guy. I get it. Smart guy, all that good stuff. He's just never been good enough. He's never been the guy that could take you anywhere. So I want Andy Dalton as my backup. I don't want Andy Dalton as a starter. Dak Prescott got injured and he got a shot. He wasn't lifting that team anywhere. And obviously when Dak comes back, you'll see a difference. Of course, it's up to the defense and other things so you can become a complete team. But the offense was a joke with Andy Dalton. I have never been an Andy Dalton believer, ever. Never will be. It's practically impossible for me to be an Andy Dalton believer. But if I'm a Bears fan, holy crap, dude. This whole time you were talking Russell Wilson, and now I got to talk Andy Dalton? How does that make any sense? How is that acceptable? Sad you got to tolerate it, But then again, we're Dolphin fans. So we had to go through a lot of crappy quarterbacks too. And now we're obviously all hoping that Tua is the answer. And I believe he will be. I think the only thing that can stop Tua is injuries. Eventually, everything else, it's going to play out. Not worried. I'm not worried whatsoever. But just think about being a Bears fan, and you've got to now talk about Andy Dalton. It's like your season's over before it starts. It's crazy. Anyway, I think Poupard just tweeted out, I don't think they're picking Sewell at all at number 3. So he's with me on that one. Because to me, it makes no sense at all. Why would you? I just saw a tweet from Poupart, and it just said that now. I'm trying to pull it up now to see if I can read it for you guys. Let me see where it's at here. Okay. I thought I saw it, but I don't know why I don't see it here now. But okay. Yeah, well, he said something along those lines. I think it says, "Hey, my man, 2 quick things. I don't think for a second they're picking Sewell at 3, and I don't think they're picking anybody at 3." So he thinks they'll trade down, actually, in that tweet, which I agree with him. I've been telling you guys that for me, my first option would be to trade down. Get more picks. I always tell you guys this. If you know how to draft, you're going to find players, period, all throughout the draft. Almost any round. I know it gets harder in the later rounds, I get it. But if you're good at it and you're good at identifying players, and listen, I know that this year it's going to be a challenge because you didn't have the same access to players and the people around them. And because of that, I don't know how prepared people are for this draft compared to years past. I'm sure they're going to gather their share of information, try to do as much of it on the phone, but it's really important to be in person for a lot of these things. So I would not be surprised if teams struggle with this draft. But if you're good and you did your homework, you got a shot at picking players all throughout this draft. So that's interesting. I've told you guys, I don't think there's a shot that they draft Sewell anymore now. After that trade, just doesn't make sense because it goes against everything that you just did in the offseason. And you tell everybody, and everybody's got to all of a sudden change what they're doing. And I just think you'll create more problems. You know what I mean? That's why I think at 3, they end up trading down when it's all said and done. Heat, by the way, in action tonight against the Cavs at 8 o'clock at AAA. What else was I going to tell you guys? Tom Brady did something very different. You have the audio there? All right, so Tom Brady goes out and does something that sounds kind of crazy. He gave out his cell phone. Okay? Now, it's not what happened with what's the name of the dude that was married to J-Lo? Mark Anthony. Did you see what he did to a local radio host? Huh?
I did not.
You know that trick that people do, that they call you and then when you answer, they say, "Hey, yo, I'm sorry, dude. I got to call you back. Can you call me later?" And they make it sound like you called them.
Yeah.
You know what? Like Gronk did it to Brady the other day. So a local radio host, a Spanish, a Latin guy, I forgot the guy's name now. He's pretty popular. And he apparently is tight with Mark Anthony. So he called Mark Anthony on the air and acted like Mark had called him and said, "Oh, hey, Mark, hey, listen, I'm sorry, dude. I'm busy right now doing the radio show. Can I call you back?" And Mark was like, "What? Huh?" So he hung up on him. So if you go by the Palmetto off of 122nd Avenue, you will see a Mark Anthony billboard. And it has the radio host's cell phone number. And then it says, Mark Anthony says, who's laughing now? So Mark Anthony, in order to get back at his friend, put out his cell phone on a billboard on the Palmetto. I think that's a pretty funny joke, dude. That's good work by Mark Anthony. Like, okay, you want to make fun of me on the air? You want to do this? Oh, I got payback for you. All right. I'm going to put your cell phone on the Palmetto Expressway. So obviously he's got to change his number now because I'm sure there's a lot of people using it and calling him. So Tom Brady is giving you his cell phone. Go for it.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So this is a real first for me, but I've been talked into giving out my cell phone on the internet. So listen, rule number 1 before we get into any of this, no texting on game days. Really, though, what this is it's a tool that will allow me to communicate more directly with my fans and my followers, where we can actually do a better job of responding to you and your questions and all the great messages. Sometimes it gets hard to sort through the "you suck, Brady" in the comments. I know there's quite a few of those over the years. It's usually from the Jet fans. But to be clear, if you do text me, "you suck," yes, I'll see it. And I may or may not respond. So shoot me a message. I promise I'm going to get back to as many of you guys as possible when I have the time.
I mean, it's pretty cool, right? You might get a text back from Brady about something. That's actually not bad. I mean, those of you that say he sucks and all that stuff, I doubt he's really going to, let's say, give you much of an answer. You know what I'm saying? But still, you know, I think that's kind of cool. Got a very crafty way of connecting with fans. Plus, I have not used it, but I would not be surprised if there's some kind of sponsor tied to it. So when you send a text, you get back some kind of message that has some sponsorship tied to it or something like that. I don't know. Did you call it? Did you send a text, Tito?
I did not. No, I don't want to talk with that guy. He's already ruined my life enough. I'm good.
Dan Horsley says, I know we just traded for a linebacker. However, I would like to see a trade down and draft Micah Parsons. I disagree with you. I'd rather have Zaven Collins. I think Zaven Collins actually fits what Miami does more than Micah Parsons does. That's just me. And I like Micah Parsons, but for Miami's scheme, I like Zaven Collins more from Tulsa than Micah Parsons from Penn State. So I understand what you're saying, but Collins, I think, will be the better pass rusher. I think he's the better athlete when it's all said and done. He's the bigger player also, which I think is important. He's taller. He's got a bigger frame, so he can set the edge more. I just kind of like Zaven Collins a little bit more than Micah Parsons for Miami. Okay? There might be another team out there, a different scheme, that I might pick Micah Parsons. But at this moment, in Miami's scheme, I like Zaven Collins. Raging Dolphin Maniac says, that can't be Brady's personal number. It's a number set up for a campaign of some kind. Yeah, but it's his number, but it probably goes to a phone, a different phone. That's all it is. But it's probably not his real personal number, but it's linked to a phone and it sends it to somewhere where he can reach the messages probably from his phone. Now, is it the number that he normally uses for his wife? Of course not. I mean, I would imagine that phone is going to be busy a lot. Okay? Because the Bucs fans will be reaching out, the Pats fans will be reaching out, the Michigan fans will be reaching out, and then all the haters will be reaching out. What, do you got money or something on this?
No,
the hell are you watching?
No, they took 8 shots, grabbed 7 rebounds, and never came up with a single point during the entire possession.
Okay. Strong.
Impressive.
Yeah. It's hard to do that by accident.
Hey, here's an idea. Why don't they just draft Jamar Chase?
I got no problem with that. You know that. You know I'm a Jamar Chase guy.
We all are.
That's my man.
I mean, the smart people are.
No. Some people like Devonta Smith over Jamar Chase, and then there's nothing wrong with
Well,
that.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think at this point, if you're fine with taking a receiver, I think you get it.
Yeah. I either take Jamar Chase or trade down.
Right. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Those are the two things. I don't think they're taking Panay at all. I know they're not going to draft a quarterback unless they're drafting it to trade him somewhere. And then, they're trying to work out the deal, but they have him on the roster for the moment until the trade happens for picks and a player, whatever. I don't know.
Somebody in the YouTube chat's asking you, what about Jalen Phillips from UM? That's probably back end of the first, maybe even second.
Yeah. I'm not taking him. I'm not taking either of the UM guys at 18.
Really? You wouldn't take Greg Rousseau at 18?
Nope.
Why is that?
1 year wonder.
Oh, come on.
Not doing it.
Come on.
It's fine.
Come on.
It's fine. I'm not.
Kid was 19 and he led the country in sacks.
I'm pretty consistent about this. I don't take 1 year wonders. I just don't.
Then why wouldn't Jamar Chase be a 1 year wonder?
No, he played a couple years and then he didn't play last year, right? I think didn't he?
His freshman year he barely did anything.
Well, but he played. He was active.
Well,
and then he played
Rousseau had an injury.
Sophomore, and then
Rousseau had like a knee injury. That's not his fault.
He sat out the year because of COVID.
Well, right, but his freshman year, his true freshman year, he had a knee injury.
Right.
Then he played his redshirt freshman year and led the country in sacks.
Yeah, I just I got an issue with the guy that's just done it 1 year. It's scary to me, dude.
He'd fit perfectly in.
I didn't say he wouldn't fit.
No, I'm just letting you know.
I'd rather at 18 I'm taking Zaven Collins over those guys.
I think Flores would love to have a guy like Rousseau in that lineup.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if they also want to take the 1 year wonder. Listen, all 1 year wonders don't fail. Jason Pierre-Paul was a 1 year wonder and he made it. Okay? Now there's a lot of 1 year wonders that, just don't make it. From what's the name of the USC quarterback that the
Matt
Jets
Barkley.
took? Well, Matt
Leinart.
Matt Leinart was a guy that he was a failure. There's been several guys over the years that just performed on 1 year and then they went and drafted them, and most teams end up paying a price. I forgot what the study was, but it's like 80 or 90% of those 1 year wonders never make it. It's a really bad ratio of 1 year wonders. A couple do make it. There are chances, but I'm just not big on those guys that have only done it one time. And I didn't get to see it again and again, even at the pro level. When somebody performs at a high level, I don't buy it until the next year that they do it again. What's it called? Josh Allen proved me wrong last year. The nail in the coffin is to come back this year and do it again. Then you know for sure he's the real deal. But if he comes back this year and struggles, then you're like, well, wait a minute. He kind of was building it up for 2 years. He had a monster year in his third year, and now he suffered a setback. Did they figure him out? That's when you know you're the deal, when you can come back the following year and kick ass again. And a lot of people have failed in doing that. And teams have been burned for signing guys like Derek Anderson or Matt Flynn, or guys that only have a couple games or a year, and they go and give them money, and then they find out that they're not the guy. And that's happened a lot in the draft. It's happened a lot in the NFL. You have to be very, very careful with those kind of things. What about the edge? I think Phillips from UM. Oh, that's what you were talking about? That was the question. Yeah, that was Alex. What else do we have here? Bears should have never traded Khalil Mack because it handcuffed him to Trubisky. Well, trading for Trubisky was the stupid part in the end. Oh, 1 year wonder, Mitchell Trubisky. Thank you for reminding me there. There's another 1 year. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. I got to start thinking about them, and then they'll come to mind. But there's a bunch of those guys that teams got burned with. 1 year wonders, man. They will they will burn you more often than not. So you have to be very careful with that. And I know we're in UM country, so we've got a bunch of you out there that cannot be objective. Have we taken a break on this first segment? Because it's 24.
That's break.
Okay. Wow. That's slightly late. All right, let's take a break. I'm not even going to read anything. Back with more.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
The things that men will do to their junk blows me away.
It's
like
idiotic.
People will, Prince Albert's just.
I don't know it.
A Prince Albert? You don't know what a Prince Albert is? Prince Albert is when you have them pierce your manhood through like the, like a giant, just, steel rod. On that note.
4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
Hello, Inter Miami CF fans. Download the Drink AR app and play inside a first-of-its-kind virtual soccer stadium, hosted by Bodega Trevento and Inter Miami CF, and celebrate your passion for soccer from the comfort of your own home. Find the download links on our Instagram account at Treventus and get our wines delivered straight to your home with a discount for all Inter Miami CF fans. Discover Trevento, a shared passion.
You can connect with us at OnsideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnsideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
The Bachelor is back.
We're back. Yes. We take it till 3, and then Alex Donald will take over in the man of the match. They will dominate, because that's what Alex Donald does. He dominates. He will carry you till 6, and then it's Michael Christian. And great job by Michael Christian on our E-Minute. Toast started it off yesterday. Kai will be doing it tomorrow, and really proud of those guys. And you know what? I'm happy for our station, too, because it's another step forward. It's a different way of doing sports talk because we're so used to doing it the same way for many, many years. And I don't have a problem because I do a lot of it myself, but the world has changed and the younger generation is interested in other things and they love gaming. That's why you see several of our hosts, they can talk gaming. The younger generation loves soccer, international and MLS. That's why you see several of our hosts, they can talk soccer. So it's a different, we're going to talk Dolphins and we're going to talk Heat and we're going to talk Panthers and we're going to talk all the normal sports that we talk about. And obviously NFL and NBA and college football will dominate. But there's other sports and there's other interests now that people have, and gambling is one, soccer is the other, gaming. So you're going to hear those elements all throughout the station. So for you gamers out there, you will now have your E-Minute, and you got some shows, and you got guys. I heard the crossover between Toast and Kai. It was all about gaming, and it was cool, even though I'm kind of lost, I'll admit. But, it's not about the way I view things. It's about the way society views it and the direction that they're going in. And so that's where we're trying to take Onside Radio, is where young people are going, because they're the future, man. It's not us. It's people like Tito, which is really scary. Just saying. 888-441-4623. Is it all right, Tito, that when we point at you and we say scary future?
Hey, man, I'm not worried at all.
We are. Paul Pierce. I know Paul Pierce is probably your favorite NBA announcer. I know most of you really love Paul Pierce and his love for the Heat, and especially LeBron, because I know he really loves LeBron a lot. Yes, I'm being facetious. Relax, okay? Relax. Take it easy. So Paul Pierce is one of those guys that is constantly saying some stupid-ass shit on the air, okay? Let's go. Am I wrong here, Tito? Like, doesn't he say, like, really stupid stuff all the time?
Yeah. I mean,
as an analyst?
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah.
He's terrible. Okay? I don't even know why he's still employed. I got to be honest. There's several people that, who I really love? I just don't know how to pronounce her name. Chimiki, whatever, or something like that. What's her name? You've told me before. What's her name?
Chiney Ogwumike.
That's it. Chiney I love her vibe. I love her passion. I love her delivery. She knows her stuff, obviously, because she's a pro basketball player herself. She's really good, man. I'd rather hear her talk about the NBA and players than Paul Pierce any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Paul Pierce is, look, there are several players like this, and they're analysts. And, Shaq is one of those guys. Barkley's one of those guys. They tend to hire people that really don't watch the sport. Yeah, they played it at a high level, and they were great players in their own right. So then, that you want that point of view. I get all of that. But, dude, please find somebody that also cares about watching the game. So that way they can really break it down. They can analyze things. They know what happens. They really know where the players stand, how good they are, how they're not. When I have to hear Shaq talk about a player that he's never heard of, and the guy's been performing at a high level for 2 years, and it's like, yo, what's wrong with you, dude? So here's Paul Pierce breaking down the game between the Spurs and the Sixers. And Embiid did not play in this game. Now, you got to listen to it, okay? Sixers ended up winning this game by like 35 points. Paul Pierce thinks the Sixers lost, so this is why he's making his case for Embiid as MVP.
I want to start with the 76ers taking on the Spurs because it was certainly a rout, and Ben Simmons was back out of health and safety protocols.
Yeah, when I look at the score, the end score of this game, what this tells me is that Joel Embiid is definitely playing at an MVP level because, when he's the one player you're missing and you lose by this many points, I mean, they won. That's right. That's right. They did win. They won on board.
The 76ers.
Well, he might not be on that MVP list. I thought San Antonio beat.
I mean, that's Tito, you work there. That's the producer in his ear. Yo, they won. They didn't lose, correct?
Yeah, that's giving him the heads up like, hey, you're wrong. They won. Paul, they won.
I don't think people realize that the real MVPs at ESPN are the producers. Seriously. They do more of the work than most of the hosts there. If it's not for them, these people would sound even dumber than than they already do sometimes. Seriously. I don't think people realize how important producers are in this business. Really don't. It's a shame. And they get stepped all over and unappreciated and never given credit, publicly. Maybe behind the scenes, hey, thanks a lot. But publicly, they don't really give the producers enough love. And those people are the ones they carry that damn network, because they've got to carry a lot of the deadbeats that they end up hiring, because obviously there's always politics involved in that business. But there's Paul Pierce making a case for a guy. It's like watching Screaming A talk about some NFL players that weren't even on the field a couple years ago, and it's like, okay, dude, you clearly don't watch the games, but there's the network having you be an analyst, which is just stupid. But then again, when you've fired 60% of your people, I guess you got to spread others thin, and that's what happens now at ESPN. They no longer have 5,000 hosts anymore that they can move around and use for different things. Now they've got a much smaller group, and they've got to then stretch them out and use them in different areas, multiple areas. And this is what ends up happening. Paul Pierce. You got to love that. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in, 888-441-4623. The text line, 844-416-8123. Back with more right here on OnsideRadio.com.
Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnsideRadio.com.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated, and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's moretoadhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
What? So they'd be like Sauron.
You are not. No, you're not. You're not. You're not jumping to Hobbit. You're not jumping to Lord of the Rings.
Why?
No, because you're not. You're not jumping from Marvel to Lord of the Rings.
There aren't any Marvel movies that even touch Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm serious, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch. Yeah, you're right. Iron Man isn't better than a 19-hour-long 3-part Hobbit.
So Iron Man is your favorite Marvel one?
No, I just threw it out there. There's 23 of them or 26 of them for crying out loud. Thor Ragnarok. Watch that one.
I thought they're all Thor
Oh my God.
Ragnarok.
No, Thor Ragnarok is an actual Thor movie. It's the third Thor movie. I hate you.
4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
It is now the first place Florida Panthers after they had a comeback victory over the Chicago Blackhawks. Panthers storming back from a 3-1 deficit to win 6-3. Sasha Barkov with a goal and 2 assists. Panthers now best record in the NHL and first place in the Central Division. They take on the Nashville Predators on Thursday. Miami Heat are back on the court tonight. They take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in Miami. Heat are currently a 10.5-point favorite according to Vegas. Bam Adebayo is probable tip-off is slated for 8 p.m. And in less than 30 minutes, we've got Champions League kicking off. Manchester City takes on Mönchengladbach, as well as Real Madrid takes on Atalanta. Real Madrid looking for some revenge. Both those matches kick off at 3 p.m. With your Onside Sports Update, I'm Tito Bonacci. Coming up next, it's more of the Onside Zone with the Big O right here, OnsideRadio.com.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Alrighty. We take you till 3. My man Alex Donna will take over, carry you till 6. Michael Christian will take over at that point. We play a game every week called 4 Fun Numbers, and this is where Tito picks up 4 fun numbers from the weekend. Let's play the game.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Math is the real world, okay? It's everywhere.
All right, Oak. Got 4 fun Miami Heat numbers.
Let's rock it out.
I'm working on my Panthers numbers, so give me a sec here, all right?
Okay.
15 and 6. Do you know what that is?
15 and 6.
Wouldn't be too hard.
I'll go with some kind of record.
You're right. It's the record the Miami Heat have had since Jimmy Butler has returned to the lineup.
Nice.
This year the Heat went 6-12 with Jimmy out, but since then have gone 15 and 6. Since Jimmy's return, the Heat have the second best rated defense in the entire NBA. Jimmy's defensive presence is tangible enough. Their defensive rating is a 106.6 when he's on the court. When he's off the court, that defensive rating skyrockets to a 112.49, which would put them in the bottom half of the NBA. Jimmy's also currently the number 1 player in NBA's defensive box plus minus. And to make a larger point about Jimmy's presence, when he's been on the court for the Heat this entire season, they are 120 plus in net rating. When he's off the court, they're minus 153 in net rating. That's from Tom Haberstroh.
And let me tell you something. Let me add a little caveat to all of this, because sometimes some of you out there, you get a little out of control. They've won 10 of 11, and I know lately they're playing a lot of crappy teams, but they've also beaten really good teams during this streak and during that 15 and 6 run with Jimmy Butler. So it's not just about beating the weaker sisters. They've beaten teams that were supposed to be better than them. So kudos to the Heat on this run. All right, go ahead.
All right, same player, different number. We're going to go 23, 8, 9, and 2. Do you know what that is?
Well, it's got to be something hockey, because you got a 2 in there. You got ties, dude.
No, it's
or overtime.
It's Jimmy's stat line actually.
Oh,
it's 23 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 9 assists per game, and 2 steals per
Oh,
game.
it's 4 stats. I didn't even pick that up. Okay.
During the Heat's marvelous run, Jimmy Butler has spearheaded the effort. Obviously, he's averaging 23 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 9 assists per game, and 2 steals per game. And his true shooting percentage is at 57%. There's only been 2 players in NBA history to average those numbers while shooting 57% in true shooting percentage: Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. Jimmy is currently 3rd in NBA in win shares per 48 minutes and 6th in player efficiency rating.
I mean, what more can be said about Jimmy Butler, right? I mean, the effort is second to none. The leadership is amazing. His influence on the court, off the court, in the locker room, in the practice court, you name it. He's a pillar of stability for this team in every aspect. And it's interesting that, the guy that was labeled the bad guy and the guy that, was disrupting things in Minnesota and Chicago, meanwhile, Minnesota and Chicago still suck. And here's Jimmy, and they're thriving. In Philly, he wasn't considered anything like Minnesota and Chicago. They just felt like they had to go with Tobias Harris, the younger player, and they made a mistake there, but whatever. Look, they've recovered nicely now, and they're playing really, really well. But overall, I got to say, it's a situation where I don't think we can give enough credit to Jimmy Butler. And let's also credit Pat Riley, because Pat and his staff found a way to make that trade happen. And while it's not yet leading to a championship, it has still led to improvement. It has still led to the culture continuing the winning ways, and also establishing the team that it's not going to fall by the wayside and become, the 17th team in the conference, which I know there aren't that many, but you know what I mean. They're not just going to disappear and suck. And, we lost a couple of players and we can't find our way. That was the important part about it, because for you to go to the finals last year, and Jimmy Butler was a part of it, but it really helped send the message to the rest of the league that, you're here to stay. And Jimmy is for real. All right, what do you got next?
79. Do you know what that is? Number 3 is 79.
79. We Are Family. Sister Sledge, the Pirates, winning a World Series in 79. The Cobra at the plate. Is that what you're talking about?
No. That is the amount of minutes that Goran Dragic, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo have played this season. Only 79 minutes. It's not even in the top 200 of 3-man lineups in the NBA.
Interesting.
When Goran Dragic and Jimmy Butler have played, they have a plus 13 net rating, a 112 offensive rating, and a 99 defensive rating. And when Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler have played together this season, they have a 114 offensive rating with a 102 defensive rating. So combined and separate, obviously they haven't played much together, which is the point. They have roughly a plus 24 net rating when those three are playing, yet they've only played 79 minutes together.
Wow, that's actually an amazing stat, dude. And again, this will add to the second half. If you could get these guys all healthy and on the court, and you're playing well, you're winning a lot. You've won 10 of 11, and you've got one of the easier schedules in the NBA in the second half. Got to take advantage, man. And that's where I give them a lot of credit, that they're not allowing these games to slip by. That's why tonight you can't mess around with the Cavs. They suck. Make sure you send them the message. You suck. You don't belong on the court with us. Here's a loss. Get your ass out of here. Make sure you do that. Pick up the win. What's the next stat?
Last one, plus 9.2. This is going to be a fun one. Plus 9.2 for NBA players who have logged at least 800 minutes. Kelly Olynyk has the 25th on or off differential amongst big men in the league at plus 9.2. He's 9th in the league. His 8.2 points per 100 possessions on offense is 21st best in the league amongst bigs, amongst the league. And then amongst bigs, his 8.2 per 100 possessions is 5th in the league. Now, here's the important part. Amongst all the Heat's current 5-man lineups, and the ones that have the highest net rating, Olenek is involved in all 5 of them. Okay? Wow. The Butler, Olenek, and Tyler Hero trio of a lineup is the 7th best trio in the NBA that carries a plus 18 net rating and a 113 offensive rating.
Wow.
So I think this kind of leads that, while I'm not claiming that Kelly Olynyk is Tim Duncan, he's the best you've got. And he's serviceable.
Yeah. And nice. Yeah, that's the thing, that his game has expanded as the years gone on, and he's doing more for you. And he contributes in every area. A lot like your buddy Duncan Robinson, who contributes in every area, right? Not.
No. Respectively, no. Poor guy.
But for those of us, me too, that early on we were complaining, Olynyk, and you got to do more, and Olynyk was the throw-in on every deal. He can't be the throw-in now, dude. The way he's playing, helping you out everywhere, rebounding really well, Olynyk isn't going anywhere. That's 4 fun numbers right there for you, baby. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. I do want to tell you about M&S Air Conditioning. Listen, when you talk about some good people, Mike and Greg are just absolutely phenomenal human beings. They've been at this for a long time, taking care of the people here in South Florida. And that's the one thing that's really going to stand out, is that personalized service that you're going to get from Mike and Greg and all the great people at M&S Air Conditioning. I want you to save this number, 954-421-3680. That's 954-421-3680. Save it on that cell phone. And more importantly, listen, our AC unit in here, we installed a high-efficiency polarized air filter, and this is destroying the biological contaminants, and it improves the air quality. Marsh, who's on in the morning with Toast, he was out this weekend, out and about like young people do. And, Marsh is one of those guys that's probably picking up germs left and right. So that's why we've got this here, man. That's why we've got this high-efficiency polarized air filter, to kill the germs that Marsh brings to the studio every day. And that's what keeps us healthy. This is why I installed one in my house. We installed one here at work, because I wanted to make sure everybody here at Onside Radio is as safe as possible. We wear our masks. We have our polarized air filter. We are doing everything. We're wiping everything down. I'm telling you, this is how you stay healthy. Please call M&S Air Conditioning. Clean the air ducts. Fix that air conditioning. As the months roll on, it's going to get hotter. You want to call M&S Air Conditioning, 954-421-3680. Save it on that cell phone, 954-421-3680.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the Onside Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability